Good morning and welcome to another Wine Steward video. Happy holidays, and golly, it's getting crazy around here. So many projects, and I'm happy to have a plate that's so full that something might fall off, but I hope nothing will. I hope we don't disappoint somebody. We have a lot of requests for all kinds of different things. December, of course, is a very important month for us. It's kind of a make or break month, and the requests are various. We hear from people that we don't see for the rest of the year. All of a sudden, they would like a bunch of gifts sent out, and we're happy to comply. And anyway, we're in the middle of that. Crazy times. Even so, we must talk to you once a week via video, and here we are. So, a lot of caffeine there, right? At any rate, that's what it takes. And it takes good wine to motivate us to tell you about lovely things happening here. So let me have a sip of this wine that I am bound and determined to call one of the greatest wines of 2022, even though we didn't taste it. We hadn't even gotten it into the store as of last week when we had the Greatest Wines of 22 event. So I do get around, I hope I get around, to writing a list once a year, every December, kind of in honor of all of the other top 100 lists that are being published right now by the Wine Spectator, James Suckling, and so on. We have our own list of wines that you can actually buy in the store that we feel to be the greatest wines in the store. What is a great wine? A great wine to me is, regardless of price, something that really represents its type. And, of course, the other need, the other requirement, it has to be delicious. So one way or the other, wine has to be great for its type and be downright delicious, as is this. What is this? Let's put it up in front of you. Look at that. This got here just yesterday. I forgot I had even spoken for it. An importer who I trust very much sent out a list of wines coming out of cellars in Germany and being shipped over here. These were wines that have been aging in very, very cold places for a very, very long time, including this 2007 Spätlese Riesling, single vineyard stuff. 2007, that's what I said. I opened it, and Don and I had a first sip. Very tentative moment, did we make a good call? Did the importer choose a good wine? Well, we trust this importer, so we trust his judgment, and you trust ours, so there's a lot of trust going around. This is fabulous. This is, look at the color. Opened yesterday, look at the color. It's beautiful, it's pristine. This wine is lovely. It's a Spätlese Riesling, meaning it's picked a little later, so it's kind of like late harvest, but it's not a big, gooey, sweet wine. It's not a dessert wine. This is what I'm having with pork roast on Christmas evening. 2007, all right? So what is that? 15 years old, 8.5% alcohol. Brilliant. I love this kind of wine. Man, easily one of the greatest wines in the store. Let's point out a couple more of those that maybe were not at the tasting that we did, but they're more recent discoveries. In fact, as of yesterday, I found another one, but this was found 2 days ago. I brought it in right away. This is Reynolds Persistence. It's a Cabernet. It could be called Cabernet because it's 80% Cabernet from the Napa Valley, on a vineyard that straddles Soda Canyon and Coombsville. Dark, beautiful fruit. It tastes kind of like a barrel sample. The fruit is so joyous. It's dark, beautiful fruit. I swear, I can't say anything more about it, except what? A beautiful label too. That's the mustard that grows in the vineyard. How about that? Reynolds Persistence is easily one of the best wines of 2022, and we just discovered it 2 days ago. All right, voila. How about another wine? Actually, this was in the event, but this is to announce, or re-announce, I've probably mentioned this before, that we have Magnums of 2011, La Rioja Alta 904. 904 is somewhat of a representation of the year that the winery was born, 1904. They can't put 1904 on there because of label restrictions. There's too much of a confusion that could be caused to make people think, oh, it's a 1904 vintage wine. No, it's 904. It's just a proprietary name for this particular Gran Reserva. It's kept in American oak for 4 freaking years. It's racked 8 times. It's super ageable. This wine is young. This wine at 11 years of age is young. It's great stuff, and it will age amazingly, especially in Magnum format. Yes, that's the only way it's available. We can only get this in Magnum. You'll be glad to have one of these. If you got room in your cellar, like a space for bigger bottles, this should be hiding in there. And opened any time over the next 20 years, I promise. That's what this great kind of Rioja, the classic style, can do for you. Beautiful stuff. Easily one of the greatest wines of 2022. Now, what should we tell you about? Let's tell you about the wine bar, all right? It's a new wine bar menu as of, well, yesterday. And we have a white flight that is beautiful. It's various. How about Skinner Grenache Blanc? These are one of the greatest producers of Grenache Blanc in our state, up there in El Dorado County, in the Sierra foothills. They've made a beautiful one. We haven't got this on the bar in a while. It deserves more exposure. Great Grenache Blanc, something we could and should be doing here in the Livermore Valley, I think. All right. How about a wine from Macon, France? Macon is southern Burgundy to you and me. Macon Village from Coteau de Margaux, Domaine Coteau de Margaux. This is the parents of Paul Durocher owning this vineyard in the Macon area. Who is Paul Durocher? Well, he's the French dude who's put on at least 2 events here this year, along with Gregoire, another French importer. They kindly collaborate, and they've done an event, at least one event together here, and we've had them separately too. But this is Paul's parents in the Macon. Very small winery, very nice stuff. Reminds me a lot of the Macon that we sometimes buy from Kermit Lynch. So it's no or low oak. It is 100% Chardonnay, but it's lean and pristine and fresh and very, very good. So that's wine number 2 on your flight. Wine number 3 is going to take us to Greece. How about that? Hey, easily one of the best wines I've had in 2022. And what's happening with the camera? Let's just budge that down a little bit. This is called Hatzidakis. It's 100% Assyrtiko from the island of Santorini. It's brilliant. It's one of the best wines of 2022. Many of you enjoyed it last Sunday evening. More of you can by visiting the wine bar this weekend. Really brilliant stuff. Not inexpensive. No, Santorini Assyrtiko is inexpensive, but it's the best Assyrtiko in the world. Even though they grow that grape now throughout France, Greece, easily that island is special for this grape. All right, boom, you gotta try it. How about Washington State? You know, we love that place. We are finding wonderful value from up there. This is delicious Sauvignon Blanc called Matthews from Washington State. It is a squish more room on the palate feel. It's got a little more texture going on. I love it for not being altogether, tongue burning with acidity. It's got just a little bit of fleshiness to it. Lovely wine, very nice. And, we like our Rieslings. There's nothing wrong with Riesling. We will say the R word. Riesling from Great Western, which sounds like a movie or a hotel, but Great Western is actually a region, a wine region in Australia. They make bitchin' Riesling there. This is actually Best's. It's Best's Great Western Riesling from Australia. It is dry, so don't be afraid. It's drier than that one I was just describing from Germany, even though that's only a little sweet, fantastic with pork roast. This would be great with sushi right here. Best's Great Western Riesling from Australia. One of the great wines of the world. Maybe I should put it on the list. That's the white flight. How about a glass of Cabernet? There is no Cabernet, like varietal Cabernet in our flight this weekend. The red flight won't have it. So we're going to offer this by the glass. LTL, our good friend, larger than life, by our esteemed winemaker of Red Mountain, Chris Upchurch. We'll be hearing more about him in a second. So glass of Cab. Great value there. Napa Valley would charge you $50 for this same quality, and this is down in the low 30s, and I think Wine Club members actually get it for a nudge under $30. What shall we do with the red flight? Hey, how about our old friend? Destined to be one of the greatest wines of 2022 on that list that I have yet to write, but here's our own Domaine des Clous de Vie. This is a blend of Carignan and Mourvedre, 60% Carignan, 40% Mourvedre. We like to tell people and show people in a bottle what Carignan does. In fact, I want to be reminded right now. Look, how convenient. I have an open bottle of Domaine des Clous de Vie right here. There's usually an open bottle of Domaine des Clous de Vie around here. Since we made 107 cases of this beautiful dark wine. Oh my Lord. Fallen leaves, dark fruit, a little spice, some unsweetened chocolate in there too. Oh. Nice wine, which prepares us for the next wine. The next wine will also be Carignan based. Barua, one of the best wines in the store for 2022. Oh shoot, I don't have an open bottle of that around. At any rate, 85% Carignano, that's what they call it in Italy. And this is fantastic wine. We've sold several vintages now. This is young and grippy and probably needs some cellaring time or some stew, some winter stew to go along. That would be great with Barua, one of the great wines of 2022. Another wine that we're calling great. It will appear on the list. It appeared at the event the other day. Il Fano. This is Merlot and Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon and a little bit of Petit Verdot and no Sangiovese from Tuscany, the land of Sangiovese. It's a Super Tuscan. It's a really affordable Super Tuscan. This is great every year. It's ready to drink now. It is super ageable. It's like a wine of which you should have 6 or 12 bottles in your cellar and just check in on it once a year for the next 12 years. How about that? Il Fano. Great stuff. The next wine, hey, this is made by, well, Chris Upchurch. At least he helps make it. He's the founding winemaker of De Lille, now has his own winery called Upchurch, from which comes that LTL that we were just describing. This is D2. This is number 30 on the Wine Spectator's Top 100 list this year. And we had to scoop up a bunch of it before it all went to other people who only buy off that list. We don't buy it for the sensational placement, for the great score. We buy it because it's great every year. It's kind of like that Il Fano. It's like buying blue chip stock. It is super reliable, ageable wine. D2 describes the auto route that traverses Bordeaux, and it's very Bordeaux-style wine from where? Washington State, of course. Finally, it would be very unusual to put a Pinot Noir at the end of a flight, especially after Bordeaux varieties. Well, we're doing it. This is a Montelis. Montelis is a sub-region of the Côte de Beaune. So that, if it's red, is going to be 100% what? Pinot Noir. And we're putting it at the end? Well, this has so much impact of fruit. What is it? It's a 2020? That year, very fruit-forward year for Burgundy. This wine screams fruit. We'll put it in a nice big Burgundy glass for you, and you can savor a ripe vintage from Burgundy. Maybe a vintage when we didn't get a lot of fruit as far as crop size, but man, the intensity of that fruit that was picked, fantastic. So a red Burgundy will end the flight. And I forgot to talk about the sparkling wine. I forgot to even bring it with me over here, and I can't even remember what it is right now. Oh, it's champagne. We're doing real champagne because it's the holidays, and it'll be Bernard Gaucher champagne from Champagne, France, of course. Kind of getting the whistle wet for this Sunday's big champagne event with Charles Neal, which is sold out. Sorry. At any rate, that's coming up. Getting ready. And now I got to go build some baskets and do some other stuff for all kinds of wonderful people who decided to call the Wine Steward for their holiday needs. And gotta go. See you soon.